eternal authenticity, broadcasting live, the one and only Sky Blackwell, eternal authenticity, broadcasting live. Click the like button, like this video, click the like button, like this video, and yes, right now I'm doing a video, an audio message, Sky Blackwell, about patience and deep reflection. Patience, stillness, and deep reflection. Stillness and deep reflection. Stillness and deep reflection. So, what do I mean by this? Stillness. What matters in life is that we have time to be still. Of course, we're going to be productive. We're going to get our work done. We're going to get our studies done. We're going to accomplish our tasks. We're going to take care of the mission. We're going to put in that work. We're going to be productive, right? And then, stillness is something that we need to practice and appreciate and embody. Even when we are being productive, we can still be still, where we're not, all over the place in a chaotic way. We can be still within our spirit, which is a peace, that inner peace within us. So stillness, within our mind, not having, ourself overthink, what I'm saying? Stillness within, our moves, instead of, creating all this drama and extra problems, we can be still and listen to God's voice, and we can be able to execute the plan in a more efficient way. By us being still, our mind is able to think clear, our mind is able to think clearer, and we're able to live a more harmonious and efficient life by having that stillness. Many people, they can't face themselves. They're not able to face themselves. They're all over the place. Their energy is scattered. They're scatterbrained. They have this chaotic, ungrounded energy. They have an imbalanced, out of balance energy. Out of balance energy. Scattered, irritated, energy. You know what I mean? And we gotta be calm, we gotta be grounded, So, stillness, even just remembering that, processing that, holding on to that concept throughout your day-to-day life of stillness. Hey, I'm gonna work on being more still. And of course, yes, doing nothing, being able to relax is good. Being able to relax, being able to rest, being able to recharge and, pray, meditate, having the time to be still, that's important, honestly, because what really matters the most, first and foremost, is God, our creator. God is my priority. God is the priority. And I'm fulfilling my purpose that's been assigned to me by God. So my life is not a mistake. My life is not an accident. I have a serious, real, higher calling that I'm fulfilling. I have a real, true, divine mission and real life purpose that I'm accomplishing in this lifetime and in every lifetime. I'm fulfilling my mission that's been assigned to me by God. So, we gotta be able to have time to be still and focus on what really matters. God, our family, our love, and taking care of ourselves alone, with our inner work, with our healing, with our development, with our studies, with, cleanliness and tidiness and being more disciplined, becoming more pure, becoming more disciplined, becoming more obedient, becoming more righteous. This is all important, and of course, I'm serving God. I'm running my businesses. I'm my own CEO. I am my own boss. I am my own entrepreneur, and I'm working for God. I'm serving God. I'm signed to God. I'm not signing any contracts. I'm a free spirit, and my soul belongs to God. So I'm running my businesses serving God. I'm healing and I'm inspiring humanity through God's grace. You know, so that's important to me also. And of course, time with my family, the blood relatives that, are available, that are supportive, that want to talk, that we can hang out, and also, of course, time with my wife, my special lady, the woman of my dreams, special woman, the goddess, the special princess, the queen that God has designed for me to marry. My time is coming, Yes, she is my priority. All of the lovely children I'm having with my wife, all of the lovely, beautiful children that I'm creating with my wife are my priority. My wife is my priority. And I'm focusing on honoring God with my wife and children. I'm focusing on serving God with my wife and children, So the world can be very noisy. A lot of times maybe there's all these, not maybe, it's a fact. There's a lot of distractions on the cell phone, on the computer, on the television, on the social media, on the different online websites. There's a lot of temptations, a lot of distractions, and of course out in the matrix, the city, the concrete jungle, Babylon is very noisy, very chaotic, very noisy. There's all these politics and sirens and circus acts going on. People competing, everybody's chasing and competing and fighting, at war. People rushing to get food, rushing to make money, rushing to chase love and, fame and stuff like that. People, it's a lot of noise, in the city especially, and there's neighbors, they're going through different problems. We're all going through stuff. I get it. We all have a different plate that we're handling. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's going through something. You know what I mean? People have ups and downs. That's just human life. So the point is, there's a lot of activity because it's a universe. This is Earth. There's billions of us. There's many life forms. So of course there's going to be energy. There's going to be noise and, waves, energy waves, vibrations, movement. That's what life is. Kinetic energy, movement. You know what I'm saying? Sky Blackwell, eternal authenticity. So yes, we have different chores, tasks, responsibilities. You know what I mean? Different things in our mind, different visions, different dreams, different, promises from God that we're, focusing on, that we're praying for, different work. There's always something to do. So my point is, we got to make sure we calm our mind down and we're able to get down to earth. We're able to get down to earth and ground ourselves, whether it's in nature, on a beach, or at a river, or at a lake, or out at a nature trail, or a park, or something like that in the mountains. That's a great way to ground ourselves and meditate and get close to God. Of course, we got to do the best with what we have. So it could be as simple as praying in your prayer closet, or praying by your bed, or wherever just your sanctuary is, your quiet, peaceful, serene sanctuary where you're able to have alone time, quiet time, and you're able to calm your mind and hear God speak to you. When you don't have all these noises anymore, all these distractions, devices, gadgets, ringtones, music videos, television, all these beeps and alerts and notifications, and when you just finally are able just to drown out all of the world's noise, then that's how you really find that inner peace, that stillness, that quiet sanctuary within the kingdom, within yourself, that God has blessed us with. So stillness, we have to build this stillness. We have to seek this stillness consistently. We can't let ourselves get all agitated. We can't let ourselves get all aggressive and aggravated and anxious and stirred up in a chaotic way. You know, we got to make sure that we are grounded, that we have peace within us, so we can treat people better and so that we can connect to God better, so it's on us to make a conscious choice like, hey, I know I got a lot of things going on. You may be washing your car or taking a shower or doing laundry or cooking meals or, cleaning or, writing a book or trying to work out, or you're studying, taking notes. You know what I'm saying? It's different stuff that we have going on. You could be running errands to go get food, groceries, or, different items to help with your house, with your home, toiletries or different other products to help out benefit your life, tools, different tools. So there's different stuff you got going on, it's life. Sunshine to the moonlight. You know what I mean? So we have to make sure that, hey, I know it's good for me to have this active energy. It's good for me to be productive. It's good for me to get stuff done and put in work. But at the same time, I gotta find that stillness within myself. I gotta monitor myself. I gotta be aware. I gotta be aware and observant within myself. How do I feel? What are my vibes? What's my energy like? And you gotta understand that connection with God within yourself, that peace. You gotta be able to sense that out. That, hey, I'm becoming too rowdy. I'm becoming too, out of balance. I'm becoming too agitated. So you got to be able to determine that within yourself and recognize that and say, hey, daily I need to reach this point and maintain this inner stillness every day, so you have to have time to pray. You have to have time to meditate. You have to have time to go for a walk, outside in nature. You have to have time to just have nothing going on, no distractions. And if you're going to listen to some music, listen to instrumentals, classical music, jazz, bossa nova music, the different binaural beats, the ancient frequencies, the beats, what I'm saying? Different stuff without words. That also helps us to calm ourselves down. Sounds of the elements, of nature, of the rain, of the ocean, of the wind, stuff like that. Even birds singing, stuff like that is so peaceful and tranquil, and it's blissful, and it's positive towards contributing to a healthy lifestyle, So seek and cultivate that stillness within. Really assess yourself and keep yourself in check. When you're out and about, you don't have to be Mr. Tough Guy or Miss Tough Girl all the time. You don't have to be tough at all. You don't have to be caught up with this heavy ego is my point. You got to be able to be patient, take it easy, and be peaceful, with your embodiment, with your energy, and yeah, that's stillness. So you're able to think and process life. You're able to have this better connection with God, with the higher power creator, that, hey, this is not a mistake. This is not a fluke. I'm living a meaningful life of purpose that has been given to me by God, So to receive these downloads, to receive this wise, ancient, deep information. We have to be still. We have to be calm, and we got to be able to reflect on our life, reflecting on what we've been through, on what God is telling us, on different interactions, different situations, how we handle stuff. We got to make peace with our past. We have to make peace with people who are not meant to be in our life. I'm glad I've made peace with people that God has told me to let go. I'm glad I have made peace with people that God said are not meant to be in my life. This is real talk. I'm able to reflect on different things I've learned in different situations, and, all across the board: family, friends, relationship partners, business clients, strangers, mentors. I'm reflecting because there's so much information, so much wisdom, so much to evolve and grow in life. I'm living my authentic, unique, custom life, and I'm excited. I'm enthusiastic. I'm passionate about life. So instead of me crashing out and just going too fast, I'm able to breathe. I'm able to breathe, center myself. I'm centering myself, and I'm moving forward with a calm, sharp, still, peaceful mind. I have a sound, sharp mind. Sky Blackwell, eternal authenticity, and that's how I'm able to be so productive in an efficient way. I'm so productive and I'm so efficient because I accomplish tasks. I achieve goals by doing things one thing at a time. Yes, I'm able to multitask stuff. However, I'm a true, powerful force with doing things one thing at a time. So I'm not scattered all over the place. It helps me to live my life better when I'm making these righteous, pure choices from peace and stillness within myself. I love to reflect on my transformation, my growth, my evolution, on where I'm going, on what I've learned, on what I need to bring with me into the new chapters, on what I need to let go of, on how to handle certain situations, how to respond to different interactions, different environments, different, circumstances. It's all about reflecting. At some point you have to reflect. That's my point. At some point you got to be able to take a seat and chill out. At some point you got to be able to take a seat, chill out, breathe, and really get deep within. Instead of always being stimulated with all this television and scrolling on social media, you're being distracted. Your energy is being drained, and you're getting lost. So you have to be able to calm your mind down, develop that inner stillness. You have to be able to reflect and listen to God. So that's what I got to talk about today. Sky Blackwell, eternal authenticity. Yes. Cultivate that inner stillness and be sure to reflect and become a better human in God's image. So thank y'all for listening. As always, follow me, connect with me on Instagram at Eternal Authenticity, Sky Blackwell. And yes, schedule a consultation, schedule and book a nutrition and wellness detox consultation with me. The link is below in this YouTube video description. On my YouTube channel, on my social media, you can schedule and book a consultation with me. I will help you to detox and heal. So yes, hit me up. And also order my 2 new ebooks available on Amazon Kindle. Supreme Healing Wisdom and alkaline healing herbs for success. These are two of the most powerful, highest frequency detox natural remedy ebooks. These are the Bible of healing, high frequency, righteous, purification, herbal plant knowledge, to help you to advance and go to the next level and increase your quality of life. So check out the links below of this YouTube video description to order my 2 new Amazon Kindle ebooks by Sky Blackwell. Support my services, support my, consultations. Check out the links below in this YouTube video description and send me a Cash App, sow a seed, and send me some blessings. I appreciate it. Follow me on Instagram, send me some good vibes, and thank you. Find a way to reach out to me. Thank you for supporting my services and my businesses. And also check out my new music. I got new songs on Apple Music and on Spotify, SoundCloud, and other platforms. And I'm releasing more music. So all the links are below in this YouTube video description on my YouTube channel, in my bios on social media, Instagram, Threads. Yes, you will find a way to support my positive legacy that I'm building. So thank you. Sky Blackwell, Eternal Authenticity. Make sure you reflect. Make sure you practice that inner stillness. Breathe and be at peace. Thank you. Y'all take care. Stay blessed. Click the like button. Like this video. Click the like button. Like this video. And I'll see you in the next YouTube video. It's Eternal Authenticity, broadcasting live. Peace.
Authenticity, Sky Blackwell, DJ Sky.